Hello out there and welcome to the newspaper review here on TAF TV. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and yes, this is where we get to discuss with members of the streets, members in the streets of Port Harcourt, what they have to say as regards different headlines making rounds on the papers. And you out there can also be a part of the show. Please drop your comments in the comment section if you have anything to add to what is being discussed here, and please do not forget to subscribe to our channel if you're yet to subscribe, and turn on your notification buttons. Well, before we discuss with people on the streets, let's first look into the newspapers and see what the stories look like. Today being Wednesday, May 22, 2024. You could see on the Daily Trust, it says Kano Assembly to amend law Ganduje used to dethrone Sanusi. Details is found on page 22. Minimum wage, federal government, Labour meeting deadlocked again. Details of this story is found on page 4. Abuja abduction, 9 still missing, says families. Details is found on page 3. And on the main story at the Daily Trust, you could see it says bandits kill 50, burn houses in Plateau. Sub-story under that reads, we've killed 7 of the attackers, says police. Details is found on page 4. The bottom stories read, hardship, social chaos looms, ACF warns. Details is found on page 8. Generator fume kills 7 undergraduates in Bayelsa. Details of this story is found on page 16. CBN increases interest rate by 150 basis points to 26.25%. Details is found on page 19. Culture Ministry votes 290 million naira for solar street lights in Minister's local government area. Details is found on page 20, and that's all be taken on the Daily Trust newspaper. And moving on, we'll be looking at the Leadership newspaper. The headlines here reads, Governor Inuwa backs call for state police. Details is found on page 7. Minimum wage, again, Labour rejects federal government 54,000 naira offer. Details is found on page 4. The main story here reads, CBN's benchmark interest rates hit 26.25% to sustain past gains. Details is found on page 4. Hardship, we won't cut corners to revive economy, says Shetima. Details is found on page 18. Fear grips Plateau residents as gunmen kill 50. Substory under that reads, several houses razed, communities deserted, village head, youth leaders confirm killings, security agencies keep mum. This is found on page 4. Northern elders want regional disparities addressed. This is found on page 4. Kano Assembly set to amend Emirate Council law. This is found on page 9. Iran searches for a new future after Raisi's death. This is found on page 6. 2024 Hajj. We have no visa issues, says Nakon. This is found on page 8, and that's all be taken on the Leadership newspaper. And lastly, we'll be looking at the New Telegraph newspaper. The headline here reads, Cardoso, foreign investors' feedback on Nigeria's economy positive as MPC hikes lending rates to 26.25%, retains CRR at 45%. Details is found on page 7. Nigeria, Saudi to resume joint flights on $6 trillion cargo market. Details is found on page 26. Power probe, House Senate step down on adoption of reports. Details is found on page 2 and 9 of the New Telegraph newspaper. The main story here reads, hardship, chaos looms, life becoming tough for average citizens. ACF warns Tinubu. Sub-story under that reads, Nigerians should be patient with us, says presidency. Shetima says our policy focused on what works best for Nigeria. This is found on page 3 and 4 of the New Telegraph newspaper. Again, new minimum wage. Again, Labour rejects federal government's fresh 54,000 naira offer. Talks continue today. This is found on page 2. 40 killed. Houses burnt in fresh Plateau attack. Substory under that reads, Senate moved to convoke national summit over Fulani headers attack. Details is found on page 3 and 6. And that's all we'll be taking on the New Telegraph newspaper. Now let's get to see the reactions of people on the streets. Let's get to hear what they have to say as regards these headlines on the papers. Stay tuned. All right, good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
Welcome, it's good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Now we are having this petrol issue, how petrol price is rising. And you can see on the New Telegraph, it says year on year, average fuel retail price rises by 176%, diesel by 68%, says NBS. Now petrol price is increasing. Even in Port Harcourt here, we are buying petrol as high as 860, 880, and some persons are even selling 900 naira. And we know what happens equally when petrol price increases, cost of living would increase and transport system would increase. What do you have to say about that?
What I have to say is that the problem of Nigeria is from our government. It is not from the individual, and the government don't care about people. Even if you are done, it's none of their business. So what I'm trying to say, the reason why this is happening is that the Niger Delta people, they are feeling it doesn't concern me. It doesn't concern everybody. Feel it doesn't concern me.
They are not making moves that they are supposed
They
to.
are not even doing anything. They are even helping government to deal with Nigerians. You see, they should have go for resource control, like oil resource control.
Resource control management.
Yeah, that's
like
very.
restrictions.
That's what I mean. So let them go for resource control. Or I'm not from Niger Delta. I'm from Southeast. But I'll support them to do that because look at people that are governing Nigeria. They are destroying Nigeria. Look at ordinary man. Satan Oshokoro is controlling 12 oil wells. How many people in Niger Delta are having that kind of oil wells? Ordinary Royal Highness is controlling 12 oil wells. Why should that be? Why should that be? So the reason why all this is happening is that we don't have government. This country, this is not a country. This is zoo. My brother said Nigeria is zoo. This thing cannot stop unless good people that are supposed to rule Nigeria, start ruling Nigeria. Or handling on this is supposed. Look at a whole country like Nigeria. A whole country like Nigeria. Look at as big. Look at other oil countries. Like let me say Dubai. Let me say Iraq. Those countries, they're very wealthy. People are living very well. But come to Nigeria. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn to rule Nigeria. Look at the time of Buhari. Look at the time of good luck. Look at the change, the difference between good luck and Buhari, and this man at Nigeria now. So Nigeria cannot be okay unless the person that's supposed to rule Nigeria, people that are supposed to control Nigeria, controls Nigeria. They're not trying to say that they are born to rule. Whoever they like, they give power. That's what Nigeria
Without
is.
even checking their capability.
That is what I'm saying. And the one that this Tinubu is incapacitated, is not qualified to rule Nigeria. Even local government is not even qualified to rule local government. So Nigeria need to do something very fast. Youth, not those governors, not those politicians, but the youth, the people of Nigeria need to wake up and stop those nonsense.
But now, as a concerned citizen, do you think there is hope for Nigeria? Like, is there any time that things we could get better?
No, with this way, there's no hope.
Okay, if we continue this way, there would be no hope.
Even another person come in Nigeria, we can never be okay. Unless citizens wake up against government before Nigeria
government
will be
will
okay.
sit up.
That is the only thing that can help Nigeria. But with this way, this man go, another person will go, another person no. It's one man controlling Nigeria.
The same person.
The Northerners are still in power. The Fulanis are still controlling Nigeria. And there's no way Nigeria can be okay. And I don't care whether Nigeria is okay. They are foreigners. Whether Nigeria is okay, it's not okay. There are Fulanis in 24 countries of Africa. Not only in Nigeria. They are foreigners. They are not good indigenous of Nigeria. They don't care. Even if Nigeria is God, they know it's none of the business. We don't have power over to people that are supposed to rule Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's discuss on the minimum wage issue again. On the leadership, it says minimum wage. Again, they use the word again. Labour rejects federal government's 54,000 naira offer. Do you think Labour is wise in rejecting these offers? And do you think it will make the federal government keep on increasing the bargain?
Now,
This is like the Labour Congress trying to play smart.
obviously, each time this morning when I saw this headline, it takes me back to one of my favorite games, the game of chess. So I feel in this point, the Labour Party, the Labour Congress are actually taking the lead in this game of chess, and government, and I also feel this 615,000 was a strategy. Okay, let's put this in front,
benchmark.
yes, as a benchmark for them. So I feel it's actually yielding fruit. Now you can imagine from 48,000, they are placing it at 50, and NLC. One thing I love about them, they are like two strong bodies I so love in this nation, Nigeria. NLC and ASU. Those guys, their yes is their yes. They are not going back. And the man leading NLC now, he doesn't smile. He's not smiling. He's definitely not smiling. So at this point, just like I said, NLC are taking the lead. Federal government are following. So I still believe that if they keep pressing on this point they are pressing on is for the benefit of the nation.
Exactly.
Now, if you want to look at it critically, it should not be something that the federal government should be dragging their feet to. There is money in this country to settle everybody. 615,000 monthly is too small. It's too small. Okay, for them to raise it from 48,000 to 54, therefore means this money is there.
Exactly.
If we are actually emphasizing 48,000 and they are actually attributing lack of funds, they would have still pressed home their point, giving us valid reasons. But no, we had a closed door meeting yesterday, and they came out with 58,000, like trying to beg. Why my problem now is why give a closed door meeting over funds that are going to affect the nation? See, there are things you're supposed to have a closed-door meeting if it has to do with the health of the president. We understand, security level, understand. But this is public funds. This is the workforce of the nation. It involves everybody. Why have a closed-door meeting? At the end of the day, you're bringing it up at 54 and expecting these guys to actually accept. So please, secondly, I want to charge NLC to please keep to their grounds. They are laying a solid foundation to better the workforce of the nation. If they get to accept this, because at first when I heard a closed-door meeting, I was like, oh man, they are going to bribe these guys. Exactly. They are literally going to wash their heads off. But I am so happy that when I saw the video, he came out. This man, I love him. He came out. He was not smiling. He came out to the press and said, again, we are pressing home our point. 54,000, I beg your pardon, 54,000 is still very small. So at this point, I'll still say, please, they should keep holding their ground. And funny enough, federal government should watch out. There's a red light blinking. ASU is going on strike.
Exactly.
From their angle, they are going on strike. And if ASU gets to go on strike and join with NLC, pressing home their points,
double issue.
Double wahala.
Okay. Now, from your own perspective, how much do you think is okay for minimum wage as at this time?
Okay, as at this time, with all things being equal, just like the economists would say it, all things being equal, let's leave it at 100,000. At least
start growing from there.
At least, yes. Let's leave it at 100,000. And okay, let's say after like 4 years, because it's a space of 4 years, we cannot increase it to like, let's say 450. But let's leave it at 100,000 now. At least a family, just like they said, a family that it is not actually usual that a worker that just starts working for the government will have 6 children. We have not considered that aspect, but at least for somebody that is starting life would at least be able to manage not that it will be enough. I'm not saying 100,000, at least for the fact that they place it at 600, at least let's be considerate. Let it be around it. Don't bring it back. You're bringing it. No. It looks as if you're
don't pass the thousands level.
No. Compared to how much fuel is now, the cost of living, and you're placing somebody's salary at 54. No. How much do you expect the private sector that pay higher to be paying? You're placing somebody's. So this thing, we're all helping our lives. The truth is, in this country, there are those that are benefiting better than the other. Exactly. So now, not that at the end of the day, if Ghana government gets to pay 615,000, they are going to lose anything. They are definitely not going to lose anything. So why stress our workforce? Allow them work with joy, peace and harmony, and hopefully we know that this country will keep moving forward.
All right, thank you. All right, this is where we draw our curtains for today. You've heard everything that has been discussed here. You've heard what the members of the streets has to say as we got different headlines on the papers. Well, you should interact with us also by dropping your comments in the comment section. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAF TV.